night host. How are you all doing? Me, I am doing absolutely great. And as always, it is my hopes that you are doing absolutely great as well. What a fantastic day, especially here in the city of Chicago. It was like 50 degrees today, 55 almost to be exact. Whether it's crazy, whether it's warmer, you had people jogging outside on the lakefront, you know, yeah, on LSD. And if you have not been on LSD in the summertime, sad for you. So if you ever come to Chicago, make sure you go to LSD, Lakeshore Drive. Yeah. A lot of murders going on in Chicago. Nothing has changed. People are still dying. People are still getting carjacked. People are still getting mugged. And I am tired, exhausted of seeing young black men going to jail for robbery on the train, on the streets, in the community. About 2 weeks ago, we had this robbery that took place in Fulton Market, broad daylight. 2 young black men beat the white man up, took whatever merchandise he had on him. If he was a black dude, he would have been a black dude, because there's black on black crime every day. I'm not saying he was jumped just because, or mugged because he was a white man. Anybody can get mugged. Kids get mugged. Teenagers get mugged. Get their backpacks taken away. Get their Gucci belts taken away. Get their phones taken away. And people here in Chicago, as adults, go through the same thing. It's sad. Every time I hear of something going on the red line in Chicago, which goes from downtown to the 95th Street stop, train station in Chicago. And I know for sure that when something goes down on that train, it is involving someone who looks just like me. Are not you tired of that? I guess they didn't see the last video that I made. Well, not the last video, a few back. But the point is, how often will you continue to throw your life away over nothing? Over nothing. Over money? You're going to need money tomorrow. So you may have to rob someone else tomorrow, which just may jeopardize or end your life because somebody just may have the itchy to disconnect your electricity, make you unalive. But you don't care. You need money. What happens if there was no money and we go back to the barter system? Yeah, we'll go back to the barter system. Would you be still robbing, carjacking then? Would you still be selling drugs, killing yourself, killing your neighbors, killing your relatives? Yes, and I say relatives. Because how many of you all have sold drugs and have sold them to your relatives? And I mean street drugs. Or you end up doing them yourself. You end up getting high on your own supply. Hey, what's going on out there in the chat room? I see you out there. Shouts out to you. I am doing fantastic. Freckled, what's going on? Shouts out to Freckled in the building, you all. And by the way, if this is your first time chiming in, we ask that you subscribe, like, and share. Share the information with whomever you come into contact with. We highly appreciate that. Shouts out to Freckled. Violence all over America. I don't care whether if it's in Florida, New York, California, Chicago, Detroit, Colorado, Texas, California. It doesn't matter. The thing is that it's more occurring now. People are out of jobs. People are out of work. People are out of money. People don't know how they're going to pay their rent. How many of you all out there who has a rent expense that just went up $300 to $400 a month, brought out by new management, development firms? Anybody out there? Anybody been to the gas pumps lately? Feeling the punch of Trump again? How much will a gallon of gas cost next week? Could you imagine what the gas prices are like in California? I remember I was in California, I don't know, maybe a little over a year ago, and even their prices was over $7 then. Are you in the state of Washington where you're paying $5 for a gallon of gas? Are you in the state of Arizona where you're paying $4 for a gallon of gas? Are you in the state of Illinois where you're paying almost $4 a gallon of gas? Are you in Wisconsin? Indiana? If you're right in Chicago, Indiana, Detroit area, Indiana is a great place to get some gas. It's lower there. But even then, they had to turn up the prices on their pumps. All because of Donald J. Trump. Yeah. All because of Donald Trump. The political world that's going on right now, the people that's in office, is real sad. Here it is, you have Jasmine Crockett, Democrat in Texas, just lost her vote to get the Senate seat. Who defeated her? James Tallarico. He doesn't even have a law degree. The man does not even have a law degree. Yet, he is or now holds a seat in Senate for Texas versus Jasmine Crockett. That's insane. She's a well-qualified lady, known all over the world, and is on the front lines for American citizens with health care, with affordable living, with the Epstein files. Yeah, the victims of the Epstein files. She's on the front lines with that right now. And she's a lawyer. Whereas James Tallarico just has a theology degree in religion, Christianity. Haven't we seen enough of these Christians, meaning the Republicans, seeing that the Republicans were of a Christian type of organization? Not to mention the fact that the Republicans started in the state of Wisconsin. Did you all know that? Yeah, that's some political history for you. Smash up the likes. Smash up the likes. Thank you, Mo. How many of you all knew that? That the Republican Party actually was initiated in the state of Wisconsin, which is right next door to Chicago. You know, give yourself about 50 miles if you're from on the west side of Chicago. Maybe 60, depending upon how far you are on the west side. Yeah, downtown is about 70 miles. Yeah. But from Kenosha, yeah, about 50 miles. But from Milwaukee, it's like, I don't know, yeah, 100 miles. Put it that way. But needless to say, and speaking of Milwaukee, people are going crazy in Milwaukee. People are shooting police in Milwaukee. People are burning up the houses of their parents in Milwaukee over money. Young black men shooting and killing one another in Milwaukee, just like they are in Chicago, just like they are in LA, just like they are in Florida, just like they are in New York, just like they are in Memphis, Mississippi. I don't get the violence in Mississippi, though, with black on black people. There's so much racism in Mississippi. But we're still in the South like we were with Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. How did Jasmine Crockett lose that Democratic Senate seat? Was she ambushed? Was she backdoored by her own Democratic Party? You have to question that. Seeing that the state of Texas, you know, we're living in a white man's world, Texas is most definitely a white man's state. Longhorn state. Ain't no blue stateness in it at all. It's most definitely a red state. And despite the fact that they have Democratic and Republican parties there, those white good old boys and good old girls still control whether you get a seat or don't get a seat. Jasmine Crockett, this Tallarico dude, where did he come from? Do we even really know him? He's like a new kid on the block. You're going to have a seat in the Senate with no law degree. That is absolutely outrageous. How can you have a Senate seat in Congress, but don't have a law degree. I guess that's like the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who doesn't have a law degree, doesn't know anything about law, a convicted felon, like 34 times, and one out of court case settlement of sexual misconduct and the Epstein files. I'm just saying. And he's still president. Just like Jasmine Crockett was on fire with Kristi Noem. And she turned up the heat on Kristi Noem and asked Kristi Noem, do you have a law degree? Oh my goodness. Did anybody see that besides me? Yeah. Jasmine Crockett asked Kristi Noem, does she have a law degree? Kristi Noem tried to go around the bush, but had to come back full circle and say no. Yes, she had to say no. So here it is, you have someone who was in charge of the Department of Homeland Security. The Department of Homeland Security, and does not have a law degree. Y'all tell me, is something wrong with that? You in charge of, securing the U.S. on a different level versus like the Department of War dude, that hedge witch dude, But you still got power, and you're dealing with national soldiers who is upholding the law from your president, Donald Trump, who doesn't have a law degree, which pretty much tells me that he really doesn't know the law. How can you be a president of a country and don't even know the law? Not to mention that he was a draft dodger, Hey, Merry Christmas. What's going on there? Hey, sir. Jasmine Crockett has low IQ. I disagree respectfully. Excelente. What's going on? Texas Jane. What's going on? Gangster J. What it is. Shouts out to everybody in the chat room. Why do you say Jasmine Crockett has a low IQ? Excelente, why do you say that? I'm just asking. I mean, you have to have some type of higher IQ to be a Democratic politician for the state of Texas, and you're a black woman in a red state. Yeah, she may be a little, ghetto, but like many black folks, she's from the ghetto. However, she's not from the ghetto. Her family had a great background. Father had money. Mama had money. I mean, if that's the case, does Donald Trump has a low IQ? Because it seems to me that Jasmine Crockett appears to be more intelligent than Donald Trump. I'm not a MAGA lover. I'm not a Democratic lover. I'm not a Republican lover. I'm not either of that. Because all of them are sending us to our doom. All of them are sending us to our doom. Yeah. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. You see what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did. They let all of these illegal terrorist, undocumented immigrants into the country that cause havoc, okay? People screaming at Donald Trump because he's trying to get him out. Now, I'm going to say this again. I don't agree with a lot of policies that the Trump administration has executed. However, I do agree on the undocumented immigrants that's here in the United States that is taking food, opportunities, benefits away from American citizens who are actually paying for them to be here. Now, Donald Trump made a statement. I get to it now. Donald Trump made a statement about all of the unwanted American citizens. We should move them over to another country. All of those people who have violent offenses, move them over to another country, and they'll do well because other countries move their unwanted people here to America and they seem to do well. Well, right now you have American citizens that's trapped in airports across the world. In Dubai, in Iran, Iraq. These people stuck. Are they doing well? Can they get some food stamps while they're there? Can they get some free housing while they're there? On the state or country of Dubai, of Iran, of Kemet, Egypt, anything dealing with the United Arab Emirates? Can an American citizen do well like all of the immigrants that was undocumented did well, and some are still doing well here in America? Can American citizens get that reciprocated to them during this time of war? Here it is. You have the U.S. has closed 2 of their embassies in Kuwait. 2 embassies, not 1 embassy, but 2. And this attack, this war, still has not been sanctioned by Congress. Is Donald Trump a warlord? Is Donald Trump a warlord criminal? Hell, many people of the country already agree that he's a Chester, you know. You know, many Americans already agree that he's a Chester. But is he a war criminal? You know, for that crime that he committed over there in Venezuela and kidnapped the president of that country, Machado, and then took his oil and put it in his bank account? Is that not a war criminal? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump at one point said that he wants peace, that he's not going to get Americans involved in war. Do y'all remember he said that? Well, I highly disagree with Donald Trump, and you all may have a different standpoint in regards to his truthfulness and what he exhibits or enunciates to the American people, especially when he said that he's not for war. Hell, he started war with Yemen. He has started war with Syria. He has started war with Nigeria. He has started war with Somalia. He has started war with Iran. He has started war twice with Iran. Yeah. He started war with Venezuela. He started war with Ecuador as of the other day, like maybe 36 hours ago. Yeah, Ecuador. And it is now reported that Cuba is on the list. Trump is real busy keeping American citizens off those Epstein files. War, 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 war. War. Where's all of this war money coming from? Who's paying for it? Like I said, have you been to the gas pump lately? Have you been to the food market lately trying to get you some groceries? And food really doesn't have any flavor too much anymore. Even with cereal. Anybody out there eat Raisin Bran? Have you all tasted Raisin Bran lately? It is absolutely horrific. He already was a crooked business. Hey, Jolena, shouts out to Jolena. Trump say chicken hawk. John, what's going on? Yes, until Epstein files. America is done. John Toomey. Shouts out to everybody out there in the chat room. 5-time drive. Yeah. Dodger, yes. Jolena, John. Texas, Gangsta J. Mad Brew. What's going on, Mad Brew? Excelente. Fredlick, everybody out there in the chat room. I want to thank you all for being here because you could have been doing something else with someone else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. And we're grateful for that. And we tip our hat to you. Yes. And if you want to support this channel, like we need for you to support this channel, just smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos here on YOUTUBE. Yeah, that's right. And we also have memberships, gold and silver. That is if you're feeling generous. Right now, many people can't be generous because we're feeling the dictatorship of Trump, okay? But if you can, we highly appreciate that. If you can join the membership, we have membership videos over there for you right now. But if you can't, make sure that you smash the subscribe button. Absolutely free. Don't cost you a dime, red penny, or a silver nickel. Okay? Yeah, they getting away with pennies anyway, right? Right? No more pennies anyway, right? I mean, they're going out of, circulation. Anyway, yeah. This Trump guy. Anybody out there think he's a war criminal? Hey, thank you, Jolena. We appreciate you, Jolena. Shouts out to Jolena. It's a joke. We elected him twice. I mean, I don't know if the American people really elected him because, according to the reports, Elon Musk paid $290 million to have him elected. That's just not something I'm saying. That's just, national news. Yeah. And America, with the help of the people who are those good old people, those red states that are now suffering because they helped elected him, yes, they feeling it too. Maybe not the governor of Texas, but a lot of people in those red states, like Arizona, is feeling it. And by the way, how many of you all knew that Kristi Noem is the former governor of South Dakota? Now, let's get back to this again. Kristi Noem is the former governor of South Dakota, yet she don't have a law degree. Can anybody help me make sense out of that? That's smoke. That's smoke right there. How can you be a governor of a state where laws are made and administered and you sign off on them and you don't even have a law degree? Who are we dealing with here today? What type of demonic entity or entities that the people of America elected to have power over them? It's vicious, as we can see. Very vicious. People out here starving on the street, can't pay their rent. And Kristi Noem is out there making campaign ads, $220-some million that was unapproved by the president while she rides the horse en route in Mount Rushmore somewhere. Are you serious? She lied. President Trump said he didn't approve that money to be allocated for her to be riding on a horse in Mount Rushmore. Had nothing to do with politics, government, or for the rights of the people. Not to mention the $70 million jet plane that she just stole from ICE. Yeah, the president didn't know about that either. But they can't afford American health care. They want to cut back on American programs. They want to get people off of food stamps. And according to Trump, he says that he has lifted 2.4 million Americans off of food stamps. He's killing 2.4 more American citizens. Huh? Come on, man. Do you think the American people are happy right now with their decision, with their nominee, the dictator Donald Trump? We got their loser. What about Ilhan Samuel? Also white Christians. I mean, if I have to look at these people as being white Christians, I wouldn't call them Christians. I think that these politicians who go up under the title Christians or Christianity is giving Christianity, which means one who becomes crystallized in the oneness of God. These people are being crystallized into the oneness of Satan. If you're looking for these people, these Republican people, to represent Christianity to you, well, you just may go back to slavery. You just may want to go back to slavery. if you believe in that good old book where as it says that, servants are supposed to serve their masters, obey their masters. Yeah. Yeah, we ain't doing that right now. All of this here has been propagation for the masses of people around the world to be what? Enslaved. Yeah, all around the world. Under Christianity, under Islam, under Judaism, under Catholicism, Confucianism, Buddhism, whatever your ism is. And all of these religions built off one another. Whatever your religious thing is, and it's okay to be religious if it's for the masses of people, meaning a godly example. But none of these people, none of these imams, none of these political figures of countries are representing God at all under the name of democracy, meaning demonic, or Republicans, meaning what? Republican politicians do what? Guide the mind. Guide the mind. Whether it's to destruction, whether it be to prosperity, which none of them is leading the American people to. Not even worldwide. Not even worldwide we are being led to prosperity. They want a one world government, one world control. But it seems to me that Donald Trump wants all the power. Donald Trump wants all the smoke with the help of Israel. With the help of Israel. We all know why Donald Trump is back in Israel. They're going over there to take somebody else's land. Donald Trump has already said that he wanted rights, or he wanted part in picking the new Iranian leader. We already knew that. I mean, if y'all didn't know that, that was not something that was not to be expected after they shot and killed or bombed, the Ayatollah Khomeini. I mean, this is history that we're dealing with right now. The Ayatollah Khomeini has been the supreme leader in Iraq for the past 37, almost 40 years. And they finally got rid of him. But now Donald Trump wants hand in whom is picked to be the new leader of Iran, despite the fact that he said that he wants Iran to pick their own new leader and take control of a new regime. Like I said, this is a repeat of what happened years ago. Has anybody out there seen the movie entitled W? If y'all have not watched that movie entitled W, I highly recommend that you watch that movie. Yeah, W. It gives you the story of what happened in Iraq. Was George W. Bush Sr., Jr., I'm sorry. But this is a repeat with Donald Trump. Nothing different. And with all of these countries that he's bombed, sent missile attacks on. How many countries is that? Yemen, Somalia, Nigeria, Iraq, Iran twice. That's 6. Venezuela. Huh? Ecuador. What is over there in Ecuador that he wants? Anybody out there? A bad name, Jolena. Anybody out there Hey, Baden, what's going on? Shouts out to Baden. It wasn't a secret, a power trip. Okay. Why does Donald Trump want Ecuador? Anybody out there? Can anybody help me out? Because I don't know why he wants Ecuador, nor do I know why Cuba is next to be targeted. Did anybody hear about that? Despite this, Israel launches broad-scale wave of strikes in Tehran. He's going for Beirut. He's going for Cuba. He's going for Ecuador. Can anybody out there help me? Oil. Well, we know about the oil that's over there in Iran, in Iraq, and what they call the Middle East. Something that they made up back in the 1940s. How can you be in the middle of the East? You're either north, south, east, or west. It's that simple. We understand that it's about oil. How much oil does Ecuador produce? Is it like Venezuela? Yeah. But why are all of the Ecuadorians, not all, but many of them, were trying to escape to America? What is it their regime, like you have over there, or had over there in Venezuela with Machado? I'm just saying. Israeli military chief, cities, or sites, how many? 2,500 strikes on Iran. But Iran says that they will meet the U.S. troops on ground if they have to. I don't think any of this is going to end good at all. Do you all think that America is going to, with the help of Israel or in cahoots with Israel, take Iran? What do you think? They say that Iran has no nuclear capabilities. Trump says that he wants the Kurds to join in the fight against Iran. It'll help lift off some of the weight of the U.S. But you're killing kids. These kids had nothing to do with the Ayatollah Khomeini, had nothing to do with the senior Islamic cleric dude, has nothing to do with the chief of justice in Iran, has nothing to do with the president of the country. What's his name? Masood. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We're in a sad state in this world right now. We're in a sad state in this world. How many of you all out there are Christians? How many of you all out there are Muslims? How many of you all are out there Hebrews and study Judaism or study Catholicism or study Buddhism or Zoroastrianism? How many of you all out there? Now, let me ask you something. Excuse me. Don't know where the yawn came from, but let me ask you something. Sorry about that. How long has this been going on, and where is the God at? Well, right now you're watching the clash of the gods. You know how they give you the story in the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or whatever scripture that you study, and they tell you about these great men fighting, all in the name of God. You're watching it right now. These are the powerful little gods. Yeah. Yeah, they are the gods on this earth. They're not little in regards to their title. They are the big gods. They rule everything here. They didn't create the universe or anything, but they rule here on earth. What you are witnessing is the clash of the gods. These people that's over there in Iran, they are gods too. Everybody who is a head of a country, a king of a country, these people are gods. The Ayatollah Khomeini that they just killed, assassinated, bombed, he was a god. Donald Trump is a god. That guy over there in Israel that Donald Trump is in cahoots with, he's a god. They are the gods of this world. And they have an effect on you. They controls what happened to you. Not the spaced out God somewhere. Not the God that they were building a tower to Babel to. No, the God that's in the Oval Office with all of his evil minions. All of his evil minions. Doing all of those devilish things. Even your girl Kristi Noem, who got canned, got fired, also having a relationship with Corey, what's his name? Corey Lewandowski. Yeah. Evil everywhere. Evil everywhere. In the White House. Maybe we should call this administration the name of that movie, White House Down. White House Down. This has got to be one of the lowest degrading administrations that we've had in the last 40 years, okay? I'm serious. At, 30 to 40. Because other than that, it was really worse back then. But we got this dictator in office right now who has no compassion for even the own citizens of the country that voted him into office. Not to mention, he's a Chester. He's a criminal. Just like Kristi Noem. He just fired Kristi Noem. Do you think Pam Bondi is next? Could she be on the chopping block? Or do you think Pam Bondi stood her ground enough, whereas Donald Trump said that you're not fired? Yeah, because Kristi Noem was not doing her job. However, Kristi Noem, she's just going to be moved to another position. Not that she's let go from, a public office. No, he's just going to move her around to somewhere else. That's it. She didn't make it in that office. She got death and blood of American citizens on her hand, on her watch. And no, she did not recant those victims, Alex Pretty and Renee Good, from being domestic terrorists. She did not retract her statement from that. Donald Trump is catching heat. He's catching a lot of heat from the Democrats. And they are coming for his ass. Yeah, they're coming for his ass. So we got to shift you around for a minute. But we're going to keep you in play. We're still going to pay you. you just didn't work out like we thought you should, but you're still on the team. Despite you lied about that commercial in Mount Rushmore and the affair. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. How many mistakes have she's made? How many mistakes have Donald Trump covered up for her? He tried to save her, but she's been making too many mistakes. She got sloppy at what she was doing. And right now, had it not been for these wars that is to come, the public will be on Donald Trump's ass. You see? All of this is a distraction. All of this is a distraction. Hell, you got MAGA lovers out there that's getting beat down. Yeah. For freedom of speech. No, I'm sorry. MAGA lovers are beating up veterans. That is it. Thank you very much. MAGA lovers are beating up veterans out here for freedom of speech. It's bad out here. I don't know if Trump is, how sheriff deputize people. Is Trump out here demonizing people? Yeah, deputize and demonize, But Kristi Noem should have been fired. People were calling for her impeachment. They were calling for her impeachment. It was either that or, Donald Trump still saved her through a lifeline, still got her a paycheck. She's still on the team, but you ain't in charge of that no more. It is sad how these people that we allow to rule us don't even have more education than we do. Damn! Did you all hear me? Did you all hear that? These people don't even have a more higher education than you do, or not in the field that they should have, just like that Kennedy dude. He don't have no degree in health, human services. He don't have no degree in that. Here it is, you got this guy in office that is in charge of the World Health Organization and don't know anything about disease. I'm just saying. How many more people that are unqualified, just like the president of this country is unqualified to be president of this country? Unqualified. And yet, we tend to go along with it like it's okay. Or they tend to, feel like that we the dodos. Like we have no brain. Like how much can we get away with, or how we're going to get away with it with the American people, seeing that we're getting away with everything anyway. I'm just saying. That's crazy. The what? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Now, all of this is going to cause inflation, okay? Donald Trump told the American citizens, don't spend that tax refund check. You know why? Because he knew what you all were going to face before you even knew what you were going to face. And he told you, don't spend that money. Don't go out there to the casino. Don't go out there to the malls. Don't go out there shopping for a new car. Don't go out there and get new furniture now. Because that little money that we did give you, you're going to need it. And some more. And some more. Living in America, I feel good. y'all like living in America right now? Me personally, I still think that from my travels across the continent and the world, I still find America to be one of the greatest places to live in the country. However, they're not the richest in the world, but it is one of the greatest countries that one could live in these modern times. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in Beirut right now. I wouldn't want to live in Iran. I wouldn't want to live in Kemet. Nope. Egypt, I wouldn't want to live over there. I would not want to live in Johannesburg somewhere. Nope. I would not. We have a lot of bad things that is occurring because we have bad politicians. But even under this demonic entities that is ruling the American people, it is still better living here than some other countries. I'm just saying. Despite the fact that you have many Americans leaving Americans and they're going to Ireland and Germany, you know, they're getting passports, getting visas. Yeah. Living in America. Do you feel good about that? Do you feel good about your president and the Oval Office over there on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Or are you just sickened to your stomach, to your gut core about how this administration is ruling the country and is distracting the country from truth and from justice, even though they say that the United States stands for truth and justice and under one nation, under God. But what God? But what God? It can't be the God of righteousness, okay? Hell, even white Americans are catching hell under white supremacy. Good for you. Especially those who attach themselves to a demonic person or dictator or a warlord like Donald Trump. Donald Trump only cares about Donald Trump and Donald Trump family. Donald Trump don't care about you, your American citizens, just him and his billionaire friends and his family. That's it. Yeah. Like I said, it's even getting so bad that they called this guy from Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullins, who is to replace Kristi Noem. And he isn't a better candidate either. This guy was going to have a brawl right in the courtroom. Right in the courtroom. Threatened another human being. And legal procedures. And this is who is going to inherit the Department of Homeland Security. A person who can't control themselves. A person who doesn't mind exhibiting evil intentions. And we are under an evil force, a demonic entity. So you all need to be aware here. You have military officials right now. You have military officials right now. And what are they doing? According to the MRCC, here it is. You have a lot of soldiers are being told enunciated words by military officials that Donald Trump is bringing in the new kingdom of heaven, that Donald Trump is doing the work of Jesus Christ. Has anybody heard that out there? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Yeah. I know you haven't seen me a while. I've been busy. Got caught up in life sometime. Sometimes you get caught up in life. Sometimes when your laptop goes down, you know, you got to get another one. But I got another one. Yoo-hoo! Back in business. Back in business. So no, it wasn't that I wasn't hungry enough. Sometimes things happen in life. And with the cost of everything that's going on right now, cost of living, the cost and price of everything, oh, we all are becoming slaves. I'm realizing based on traveling that Black people go back. Yeah, we go way beyond that. We've been here millions of years. Millions of years. And by the way, you all, let me drop some on you too. Before we get into this last chunk. If I ask you, where did Caucasians originate from? Many people would say the Caucasus Mountains, right? However, they would be wrong. According to master teachers, especially Elijah Muhammad, he said that the Caucasians were birthed in Saudi Arabia. Ooh. Thank you, Mo. They were birthed in Saudi Arabia. Could this be a good reason why that they want the Middle East? Because what they called the Middle East, what they made the Middle East back in the 1940s, because there was no Middle East until the 1940s. And if you trace it back, you too would find out that their origin is in Arabia. An Arab is nothing but a Caucasian man that stays in Arabia. So how the hell are we weak? That's not true. Hey, I want to tell you now, you can disagree with me, and that's cool. But if you say that the Caucasians originated from the Caucasus Mountain, but the birth of civilization is in Africa, and Saudi Arabia is in Africa, I'm just saying, even in the Masonic lessons, the Masons, the Masonic order, even they tell you how in their ritual, how they were marched across the Arabian desert, marched across the hot Arabian desert into Europe, binded by rope, And they were coming from Arabia. Now, I want you to tell all of those Masonic lodges that they run in their rituals because they understand the history of it. Yeah, they got marched over there to the Caucasus Mountains, Europe, somewhere close to Turkey. I'm just saying. Arabians are Turkish, bro. Is not the European Turkish? But the original people that was there are not the people that you see right now. You understand? Another part of heaven that was taken by force. I'm just saying. There's some things we agree on, and some things, some people just ain't reached there yet. You know, Arabians are Turkish. A Turkish European. Oh. Yeah. A Turkish European. Like the Ottomans, you know. Anyway. Hey, we're going to get out of here. We got more uploads for you tonight. And if you haven't been over to my other channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE. Go over there to that channel and find the likes of your Chicago greats, like Dion Cole, like Diane Corder, like Reggie Reg, like Quintella, like Shari, like Dura Banks, like Bernie Mac, like Peoria, Illinois' Rich, the great Rich, you know, RP. And if you are into gangster rap, hip hop, spoken word, comedy, you know, go over there where you find Twister, Shauna, Do or Die, Triple Darkness, Psychodrama, Nomads, High Pilot, Mecca, Lunatic the Messiah, Affiliated Fellows, Official Business, Raw Dog, Killer Bloodline, Project Pat, and a whole bunch of other people. Get yourself over there. THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE. And it is our hopes that we gave you something tonight to ponder on. But the question is, do you think that Pam Bondi will be next? Or do you think that she will outlast one of her co-workers like Kristi Noem? And keep in mind of the War Power Act. Keep that in mind too. Do some investigations on that. We're going to talk about that in the next video. And what state do you think that we will be in this country by June of this year? You all think about that. It's your host with the most. Yeah, your late night host tonight, right now, on THEMOSHOW Chicago, where the execution of knowledge is POWER, but you have to apply it. And on your way out the door, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos here on YOUTUBE. And also press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. What you say, gonna sub and like, bro. You're a scholar. I appreciate you. Everybody out there in the chat room. Film technologist, bro. What people should think about is how the Iranians fought to preserve their rights. They should. I don't think that the U.S. should be over there. But who am I? Just, you know, a poor righteous teacher. You know, We are under the rule of the white God right now. It's that simple. It's that simple. Tell Donald Trump he's not a god. Tell the Chinese man over there he ain't no god. Tell the Iranians. You tell them that the Ayatollah, Khomeini wasn't a god. You tell the Catholic people that the Pope is not a god. I'm just saying. Who has the power? Men. Men are gods. We are watching the clash of the gods right now. Trump suggests Cuba may be next on the agenda. Why Cuba? Is it oil again? Leave your comments in the comment section. That's my time, you all. Peace out. Stay away from ice and never give up on your DREAM